Yeah, I know, buddy. I know, but it fucking, seriously, you gotta cover your shit. Well, like, dude, seriously, I know you like the wet food and I want to keep giving it to you, but your shits are rank. And I can taste it, bro. Well, I'll keep giving you the wet food, but just kick some fucking dirt on it, alright? That's what the litter's for. Yeah, it's so fucking aggressive, bro. I don't appreciate it. Well, yeah, well, I'm on now, so we'll talk about this later. What, if you want to get in on it, here's the stool. Come on up. Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and I'm having a discussion with my cat. Come on, Mr. Pants, you get on up here. But let me get things going. Beer 1 was great. I have a sneaking suspicion beer number 2 is going to be too sweet. So we'll find out. Blackberry Milkshake IPA on the triumvirate of taps here at Third Generation Brewing with the high pour, releasing the carbonation, but also releasing the nitrogen. It's, come on, shit. There's barely any in there. And there's a reason. That reason is that I'm a fucking idiot. But let me digress, because you may have noticed I have a hat already, and it's random hat. So let's go to the newest feature. Run! Get a random hat! I already have one, you're saying. Wait for it. We're going back to the 90s. And why not? Because with Mason Rudolph potentially being our starter, it's going to feel a lot like 1992 and Neil O'Donnell. I guess Mason can run, though. I mean, I'm just going to... I feel like I was bad wrong on him. And now that I'm against him, I hope I'm bad wrong again. But... I don't have the hope. But let me digress to the point where I'm a fucking idiot. The stout hammer, as I like to call it, that's not what it is. It's a stout tap. But I got some nitrogen for it. Last week, was all pumped. Now there's a thing called, well, there's nitrogen, which that tank is, straight nitro. And then there's beer gas, which is nitrogen with like a 5 to 10% CO2 mix in it. That is apparently a royal bitch to come by. So this tank of nitro was pretty cheap. Quick, it was a tank swap, done deal. But when I hit the hammer and blew the coffee out, which cold brew coffee on tap, it spit really weird. Like it does a foamity thing, but it just spit. Like there was air coming through, and apparently that was the nitrogen gas forcing its way clean through the liquid and out the other side, because that fucking tank is empty. I bought it last Monday. Today is Wednesday. There is no nitrogen in the tank, and that's a microcosm of my week. I ordered some salt for work. I ordered it back in December. There was a snafu. There's a chain of command. There's a hierarchy for supplies. It's like, I don't know, it's like the goddamn military. But it goes through me, and then I submit it, and it goes to an approver, and then it goes to an approver, and then it goes to an approver, and then it goes out, boom, and then my shit comes back in. So I ordered salt, right? I ordered 3 25-pound bags of salt. I didn't want the 50s because I'm filling the jugs, right? You know, the little hand-shakety salt jugs? If you're in the northern half of the United States, you know perfectly well what the fuck I'm talking about. Any hoodles, I don't want the 50s because they're a bitch to fill. But I put the order in December. After the hierarchy snafu was cleared up, the order went in sometime in January. You'll notice by my watch here that I do not have. It is now the beginning of March. And about 2 weeks ago, we had a giant ice storm where everything was covered in a sheet of ice. And the only reason I had any salt to put down was that I initially got 50-pound bags and I spilled them all over the steps, filling the bags. So the handful of shit I was able to scrape up is what got me by until I could fucking slide down to the hardware store like a goddamn cross-country skier, because my work boots have tread for inside, not outside, which is why I've fallen down 4 times this fucking winter. Luckily, you know, I said 30 years, that's going to be a goddamn death sentence. Speaking of, so, I go down to the hardware store and I just bought fucking salt. Because I'm like, you know, I've told you what it's like just for me to order. You know what it'd be like for me to get money out of the till and then make a payment and then get the receipt and no, I'll just fucking pay for it because it's way easier. So I skated down to the hardware store. I got some salt. I called my boss. I said, hey, I bought some salt. When mine comes in, I'm just going to take this shit home. And she's like, well, I'm not sure what the problem is. In the meantime, I'll put it in order for you as well. And I said, good, because if you do that, that means that my order will now show up. So put your order in so that mine will come. That's what happened. But let me tell you, here's the thing I didn't take into consideration. See, my 3 bags of salt, even though there are 3 separate bags, is technically 1 order. And that order is 75 pounds since it's 3 25-pound bags. Now, what you may or may not know is the United States Postal System has a limit of 70 pounds on an order. That's nothing you should really concern yourself with, but that's something that I should probably know. I didn't think about it. So what happened is they had to send my order FedEx ground because it's 75 pounds over the cutoff. So they literally... Wait, let me backtrack this. I see a FedEx truck pull up in front of work. I work in a town of 750 people. This is a goddamn, not a FedEx truck, this is a semi. A FedEx fucking semi tractor trailer pulls up, parks in front of my window, and I was thinking, God, I wish I had one of these. So, I'm like, fuck me. Like, and you know, they've got to park, get out, look at their bill of lading, get everything situated. So while they're doing this, I had enough time to snap a fucking picture, fucking limber up, and say fuck about 42 times. So finally the guy walks in, and he's like, I got an order for you. I'm like, cool. Where do you want it? I was like, oh, you can put it back in that corner there. He says, I'll get it to the door. I'm like, well, then why did you fucking ask me if you were only going to bring it to the door? I was like, whatever, dude, sounds good to me. I'm like, it's fucking... I knew it was under 100 pounds, so I'm like, what kind of fucking twat? Like, you're going to go out there and get a goddamn dolly for 70 pounds and then be like, I can't move it 3 more feet past the door because that's too much work, fuck you. So he comes in and he's like, oh, it's not so bad, I'll bring her in here. They took my 3 25-pound bags of salt, put them on a goddamn pallet with a piece of cardboard on top of the pallet, and then they proceeded to magical shipping saran wrap the whole fucking thing. The goddamn pallet weighed almost as much as the salt I ordered. So I looked at it and I'm like, 3 bags. That's what I ordered. That's my order. It did come in first. Then the guy says, hey, can you tell me where this place is? I'm like, right there. Like, you see this window? Tilt your head out, look over there, and 2 buildings down, that's the thing you're looking for. And you can see the gears spinning like he's wondering, can I back up? Can I back up to that? I'm like, you just go around the block and you just passed it. He's like, well, can I make it around the block? And I'm like, I'm not a fucking semi-driver and you were a giant twat. I really don't care if you make it around the fucking block. Back it up, jackknife it, I don't give a fuck. You were a total dick. You're lucky I'm even helping you out, you fucking twangus. Ding, Ron made up word. So the next day, UPS shows up and he's got 4 packages. So I'm like, oh, that's my boss's order. She ordered 4 things of salt, but her 4 things were 50 pounds apiece. So technically, I mean, it was a 200-pound order, but since each bag went in individually, they all made under the 70-pound cut. They still didn't come through the USPS. They came through individually boxed from UPS, and he sat them on the floor right before I went to lunch break, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this, I'm going to lunch. Locked the door, went to lunch, walked out, came back an hour later, looking at my phone, feeling refreshed because it was 40 degrees, and that's goddamn amazing in February. And I walked around the corner and proceeded to hit 100 pounds of salt and face plant on the fucking floor. A 230-pound man with a giant, like, it's a weird thing because there's a thud and there's also a splat from, like, your hand, like, flesh slapping the tile. And I'm, like, looking around making sure nobody fucking saw it. So that was a bonus. But the neck's all fucked up. That's fall number 5 on the winter. And, God damn, I didn't even know what the point of this episode was. I'm pissed off, god damn it. You funny too. You recognize that line? You might not recognize it at this speed. There's the House Rent Boogie, made famous by George Thorogood probably a decade and a half before that. Here's John Lee Hooker's version, which I enjoy. I tell the old landlady, I'm gonna get the back rent.
I said, yes, I'm gonna get the rent together.
Oh, you wanna get the rent together? Oh, I'm gonna get it together. God damn, Mr. Pants. I still smell your shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, yeah. Like, is there, like, do we need to avoid, like, is it salmon? Is it the beef? Like, which one is it? Or do they all hit you like, oh. That's fortunate for you guys that Mr. Pants is not.
Now he's going out the door then.
I'm sorry to call you out, bro, but it's seriously off-putting. It's throwing me off. I was in the middle of something and I had to stop because I was like, is that poop? Like, this is like blackberry and poop now. You know, like 80% of smell, the taste is smell, dude.
Don't wait in the house.
God.
Some back rent.
You've been lucky to get any front.
Get in the front rent.
Oh boy, but I rambled, and now I'm gonna have to pay the price. But this drink's too good. I'm not gonna hammer it. You know what? I'm gonna pay the $1. I'm currently at. Oh, let's do this. I currently am at $9. Let's try that again. There we go. I'll make it up to you, Todd. It's Over Drinks with Ron.
I'll tell you a story.
I'm Ron, with Mr. Pants off camera. You gonna say bye, buddy? Nah, he's mad at me for making light of his shit smell. So for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron. Signing off.